Hello, friends. Al Iverson here, and it's time for another of your email authentication and deliverability questions answered. What question shall I answer today? Let me turn to my friend, Senior Deliverability Engineer Allison Gootee.
Hey Al, I have a question for you. What is a BIMI logo? Okay, I know it's a sender logo, it's something you publish in your DNS, but how do I actually do it? Like, let's say I'm a company and I want to display a sender logo next to my email sends in the inbox. Where do I actually start and what is the process?
Thank you kindly, Allison, for that question. Let me break it down for you. The four steps in the process that you'll need to go through from start to finish to implement a BIMI sender logo. Step one, it all starts with DMARC. And email authentication. Everything you send via email has to be properly authenticated. You need to have DMARC in place at enforcement, which means that your domain has a DMARC policy of P equals quarantine or P equals reject. A policy of quarantine or reject has to cover your domain fully, subdomains, and all. This is because a mailbox provider won't show a BIMI logo if your full domain is not covered with DMARC at enforcement. Step two, logo. You'll need a logo. Specifically, you'll need an SVG, scalable vector graphic image. Common tools used to make or convert this include Inkscape or Adobe Illustrator. It needs to conform to the TinyPS SVG logo spec for BIMI logos. You need to avoid bitmaps. Be careful with gradients. They don't work all that well and can't always be converted to TinyPS format. And note that the final SVG image, the file, can be no larger than 32K. The logo creation process looks like this for me. First, I open or create the logo in Adobe Illustrator. I frame the logo in a 600 pixel square area with a white or a solid color background. I place the logo in the square so that it'll look good when shrunken down and displayed in a circle. I export that out to SVG from Adobe Illustrator, and then I use various online tools or apps to convert the SVG to the specific subformat called TinyPS. I actually use the Mac app SVG converter most of the time for that, and you can download that from the BIMI Group website. Step three, mark certificate. VMCs or CMCs, these are called mark certificates, and certain mailbox providers require them if you want the logo to display in their user interface. Specifically, if you want a logo that is going to display in as many mailbox provider inboxes as possible, you need a VMC, a verified mark certificate. Apple and Google require it. There are also other certificate options, including CMC and PMC, but I'll save those for a follow-up video. Now, when you go through the VMC process, you, your company, and your logo will be vetted and verified. That's a good thing. It's all part of the process to help email recipients be assured that any email that comes through with a BIMI logo or a blue check mark at Gmail, if you've got a VMC to go along with that, is verified, is valid, and is likely to be good and from who it actually appears to be from. Now, do you absolutely need to obtain a mark certificate? Not necessarily. If you publish a BIMI logo without it, you're self-asserting your BIMI logo. I covered this in more detail in my previous video, the pros and cons, and why you might want to start with self-asserted. So be sure to go back and watch that video if you'd like to learn more about that. Keep in mind that different mailbox providers have different requirements. At Yahoo and Fastmail, a VMC is not required. For Apple and Google, a VMC is required. Gmail is by far the largest mailbox provider. So if you want to maximize where your logo is going to display, you really will want to have that logo showing up in Gmail inboxes. Step four, publish. Publishing BIMI for your domain means publishing a text record in DNS that links to your SVG file for the logo and to the PEM file for your mark certificate if you have it. That's the end step of the exercise to make your logo visible via DNS for your email domain. Folks typically publish this at the top level for a domain, and then mailbox providers will automatically allow the logo to trickle down, displaying it for subdomains too. And now here's a bonus step 5. Do you need help with any of this? Remember that we here at Valamail can help with all of this. Our automated BIMI solution called Valamail Amplify manages DNS, manages logos, leads you through the mark certificate verification process, and even gives you an idea of how many BIMI logo impressions your logo is going to get based on how much email volume you send to the various mailbox providers. Now, you can DIY this if you're smart and have time and really want to get your hands dirty digging into how this all works. But if this is just one of the 200 things you need to manage for your company, you could reach out to us today and learn how we can help you make this process easier to manage with Valamail Enforce covering your DMARC needs and Valamail Amplify automating and managing BIMI. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Drop me a line with your feedback at al.iverson@valamail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at valamail.com when you're ready to embark upon your BIMI adventure.